And welcome to a special bonus show, I guess you would call it, Steve.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Technically we broadcast on Sundays, but
Yeah.
this being a long weekend here in Canada,
Yeah.
Thanksgiving a long weekend. And no, that's not wild turkey that Alex is drinking.
That's right.
um, well, technically, we were supposed to shoot tonight, some more footage for the dark woodlot, but yeah, unfortunately, like very many psychics out there, weathermen suck just as much.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're very unreliable.
Well, it's like I
Uh,
said in the message, Facebook Messenger. I go, if I had a dime for every time the weathermen got it wrong, I'd fucking be richer than Elon Musk.
yeah, it's too bad. I mean, it turned out to be actually a really nice evening,
Hmm.
warm and everything else. But you know what? I'm not too worried about it because Uh, I don't think it's quite like it was um, when we started last year.
Yeah.
So it's still kind of green. I mean, the leaves have changed, but not quite as much. So it's still, you know, green.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't know. We'll get it done. We'll get it done. So yeah, you know, I got I got this T-shirt. You know, I posted it on Facebook. And everybody knows about the conspiracy of, you know,
The moon landing.
the moon landing, that it never happened,
Right.
and that the government hired Stanley Kubrick to film the moon landing. And I don't know where I found it, but I think it was on Instagram. I don't know. This small little company out of Los Angeles, California, I believe, called um, Discount Cemetery, and they make a whole bunch of T-shirts and stuff like that. And they had this one double-sided T-shirt for Stanley Kubrick's moon landing film crew, and I'm like, hey, that's pretty fucking neat. I want the shirt, and like you see the front here, it's got Apollo 11,
Yeah.
NASA vision, and
NASA
in the
vision.
back
Yeah.
it's got all that Stanley Kubrick thing. But it's pretty cool. With the T-shirt, you got this thing here, which is like a set schedule,
Okay.
like a mock, obviously, but it's pretty neat that you get that with it. And it just gives little details there, locations and times and call time and lunch and
Hmm.
all that kind of whatever.
Nice.
And it this as well.
Cremated remains.
Yeah, and inside when you open this up, the first thing that you get is something that you'd really appreciate, Alex.
Nice.
Vampire teeth.
Nice.
Um, what else? Obviously, thank you. And this lollipop.
Where's that been? I'd like to know.
Oh yeah, exactly. It smells good.
I
But
guess
anyways,
as long as it smells good.
yeah, the T-shirt's awesome. I loved it. I had to grab one, and relatively reasonably priced. I mean, you couldn't go wrong. I think it was like $18.
That's not
It's
bad.
not bad for a T-shirt
Yeah,
these
it's not
days.
bad, especially for what you get too.
Yeah, so and plus they get a whole bunch of other shit. So check them out. Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. Discount Cemetery, really cool place. Very friendly. Like I said, I talked with them as well, and so on and so on. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, man. So I asked you if you'd checked out, any of Squid Game yet
Right.
on Netflix,
Yeah.
and you haven't started.
I
You know what,
haven't.
dude?
I've heard about it. I keep hearing about it, but I haven't had a chance to start it yet.
Well, it's really scary because I mean they already have Halloween costumes on Amazon.
Nice.
It's hilarious. But and I'm hearing whispers of Emmy.
Really?
I'm not kidding you. I'm hearing whispers for the possibility of this being nominated for Emmys.
So I read something briefly about the writer of Squid Game saying how when he first wrote it, or the concept, I guess, he got turned down by so many studios, and this is going back over 10 years ago. He
Yeah.
kept getting turned down and turned down and turned down. Then he got to a point where he was almost like destitute, and he had to sell some stuff just to survive. And then finally he got picked up, I guess, by Netflix. And, the rest is history, so to speak, right?
And look at it now, man.
Yeah.
It's all over the place.
Well, the same thing happened with J.K. Rowling, right? The writer of Harry Potter. She was basically, I'm not going to say destitute, but she was like down and out, like almost at that point. And this was almost like, I wouldn't say a last ditch attempt, so to speak, but this, she wrote this series and now she's one of the wealthiest writers out there,
Yeah, it's a really good. I mean, I'm pretty much finished it. I think I'm on like episode 7. I think there's 9 episodes in total for. Now I don't know if there's going to be a second season. And again, I don't know. I haven't finished it. But I mean, with the popularity, you never know.
Yeah.
And like a lot, you know what? There is a lot of really cool Korean cinema out there, like films, and I haven't really dove too much into TV shows, but they have made some really, really amazing movies, and it doesn't surprise me that something like this has really caught on. Korean cinema has really come a long way, but they've always had some really strong stuff out there, so it doesn't really surprise me. So that's pretty cool. If check it out, man. It's worth it. I think you'll like it. And like I said, the thing I like about it is the fact that the storyline is incredible. And hey, look at it. It's ultra violent. It can get gory. But you know what? I guess almost like in a sort of cartoonish sort of way.
Right.
Lots of bright colors, hugely bright colors. The costumes are very unique. And again, like I said, you could pretty much get them on Amazon and other places that sell Halloween costumes. It's amazing how quick that this has caught on, that you can actually get Halloween costumes now. So yeah, that's cool. Yeah, cool. Check it out. If you guys haven't checked it out, check it out. Really, really neat. Like I said, I'm almost done. Almost done. And so far I've not been disappointed at all. So
I picked up Charlie Brown's A Great Pumpkin.
yeah, I've got the box set sitting there. I've had it for a while, the DVD box set.
Yeah.
And that's a must for me every year. I throw that in every year, or just before Halloween or whatever. So, there's what other one? Oh, you know what? The cartoon for, I don't know if you can even find it anymore, and that is the Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Oh yeah.
The original cartoon,
yeah.
man.
I don't know if you can where you can get it, but I was even like we were just at Walmart earlier today, and I just we weren't there looking for movies. We were there looking for clothes for the baby and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we walked by the back where all the electronic stuff and the TVs are, and I just caught my eye, and I'm like, sweet, let's pick it up. It was only $10, so we picked it up.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. And yeah, the box that I have has all the the seasonal stuff, like the Christmas and the Thanksgiving one, and there's obviously the Halloween. The Great Pumpkin Patch is a classic one. No doubt about that. When's the last time you've seen it?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I picked it up too, because I haven't seen it in a while. Because they used to show it on TV all the time, but now, if I remember correctly, that and a bunch of other stuff, a bunch of other holiday stuff for Christmas as well, is not going to be shown on regular TV because it's going to be shown on Disney Plus. Could be wrong, but that's what I heard. Right? So if that's the case, we picked it up because of that, right? So we can watch it whenever we want.
Yeah. Classic. What else do you watch around Halloween? Is there something else you tend to watch?
Not really. Whatever's on TV, really. Like if it's any, scary movies or whatever is on there, or even like the old cartoons. Like I used to enjoy watching those, what's it called? Like the Daffy Duck, not Daffy Duck, Donald Duck, and like there was a bunch of Halloween episodes that they did, and those are always fun to watch. Nostalgia, you know what I mean? But
trying to find those now, it's like literally impossible.
I know.
But in this day and age, a lot of them have been blackballed.
Yeah,
more or less. There's always something that I don't know.
Something wrong enough that it needs to be canceled.
Counter culture doesn't like, I guess. I don't know.
Cancel culture.
And it's really too bad because there's some really classic stuff out there, Halloween wise.
Yeah.
And I mean, this year, something that I always tend to pick up, and I don't know why. It's just, hey, it's tradition for me. I don't know why, and that's the Monster cereals.
I picked a box of that. The Monster, what is it? Monster Mash?
Well, this year that's what they did. They mashed them all together instead of releasing the three of them. They just mashed them together.
No,
they took the easy way out.
That's stupid. That's retarded. Because I would have loved Count Chocula.
Yeah.
I tried it. Yeah. We bought one. I've tried it, and it's okay. It's not great.
It's not bad. It's okay.
Yeah.
And that's why I always like tripping on down to the States.
Yeah.
Because you get all that shit. You get family size boxes of that shit for like they're cheap, right?
Yeah.
And now, well, here you're lucky. You get a mashup. Yeah. Oh, let's release it. We'll do a shortcut and just mash them all together.
Stupid.
So, I mean, last couple of years, I think the only thing they released was Count Chocula anyways.
Yeah, and that's all I really care about because I don't like the Frankenberry or whatever the other one was.
No, I like Blueberry. Yeah. I'm a Blueberry guy. I like Blueberry. I like Count Chocula too. I mean, that's another one I like. I like them all. You don't even see the werewolf one.
I didn't even know there was a werewolf one.
Yeah, there's a werewolf one. I can't remember the name of it. I grabbed it years ago when I was in somewhere down in New York State. I grabbed a box or Frankenmuth, I don't know, somewhere down there. They had them, and that was the last time I seen it. Even down there.
Yeah.
I don't think they even produce that every year. Yeah, I forget I forget the name of the werewolf one, but yeah, they have a werewolf. There's 4 of them, I think, altogether. But the 3 main ones. There's a Yummy Mummy too. Sorry.
Yummy Mummy?
Yeah, there's the Mummy one too. It's called Yummy Mummy.
Yeah. That sounds like
I forgot about that one too.
Sounds like a cheesy porn title.
I know. Yummy Mummy.
Yeah.
But I can't remember the werewolf one. I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember the name.
Is it like Hairy Balls or something?
What's that?
Hairy Balls?
Hairy Balls. You know what's cool? Last year, and I don't know if they're doing it this year, there was a brewery in somewhere in Texas that made beer in tribute of all the Monster cereals.
Nice.
All 4 of them, right? Yummy Mummy, the werewolf, Count Chocula, Blueberry, or 4 of them, or not the werewolf. I can't remember. But I was lucky enough to get somebody to grab them for me. And it was like tasting the cereal.
Nice.
It was literally like each one of them was different. One was like a sour, the other one was a stout, whatever. But it was like tasting the cereal. It's awesome. Scary.
That's awesome. But they don't make whiskey like that.
Oh fuck, man!
I'd be
whiskey.
I'd
Can
be
you
dead.
imagine whiskey? Whiskey like, some of the finest bourbon, buddy, is just fucking. It's so good.
A good bourbon
It's
is good, yes, but the problem is
it's
finding a good bourbon.
yeah. Well, finding it's not a problem. It's the amount of money you're going to pay for it here.
Yeah.
Right. Like I remember when we were down in Tennessee, and I should have picked some up. I don't know why I never did, but I was gonna pick up some bourbon down there, some small batch bourbon, and I never did. I sampled some, and I'm telling you, man, it's scary good.
So we got a comment. Cool Tools wants to know what we think of the pictures. I didn't see them yet. Did you take a look at them, Steve?
I looked at them, and I have to look at them in greater detail. Like I said, I really do have to look at them in greater detail. Again, Cool Tool, whatever you do, send a description for each of the photos, so I've got a better idea what I'm looking at.
Send them to me. Forward them to me as well if you don't mind. So I'd like to take a look at them.
Yeah, I'll forward I'll send them to you as well. But yeah, I got to look at them in greater detail. I've been so friggin' busy, with work, and thank God I've only got a couple more days, and then I'm off for 3 weeks, man.
Nice.
3 weeks, heaven, man. Holy shit, I can't wait.
I can imagine.
The best time of the year. The best
Yeah.
time of the year, man. So, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So, so tonight,
Yeah.
we'll throw, in a bit, we'll throw some EVPs on,
Yes.
and discuss those. We'll leave the line open. I mean, if somebody wants to call in and knock Alex out,
won't be the first time.
We won't knock him out. We won't knock him out. If you want to call into the show, you can do so. 716-406-4472 is the number to call. After the first break, we'll take a break here in a few minutes. But yeah, if you want to talk, give us a call. If you want to join the discussion, hey, by all means, let us know and we'll bring you in. 716-406-4472 is the number to call. Once again, we're going to talk about some EVPs and some that have been captured over the years, and we're going to play them for you and get your thoughts on them as well. And obviously, I'm looking forward to the Halloween show.
Yeah, so am I.
I think that's going to be really cool with Mr. X.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's October 27th, which is a Friday as well.
Correct.
We're not broadcasting on Halloween this year.
No, because Halloween's on a Sunday, so we're definitely not broadcasting.
Can't do that, man. It's sacrilegious.
It is sacrilegious. But for all of you guys who don't know Mr. X, he does have a YouTube channel here on YouTube. Go check him out. Just type in Mr. X, obviously. And he's basically a horror narrator with a twist. He delves a lot into the dreams, the dream world. He relates a lot of subscriber stories. Like people send him stories, and then he'll narrate them. And he's got an excellent voice for this kind of stuff. So go check out his channel. If I remember to do so after the show, I'll link his YouTube channel in the description. But just type in Mr. X, you should be able to find him.
Mr. X.
Mr. X Dreams. Sorry.
The guy, like I said, the guy's voice it's perfect for what he does. The guy has the perfect voice to narrate these stories. And they're not really, well, he literally fashions them as stories, but these are actually experiences that people send to him.
That's right.
For the most part, for the better part, most of them, if not all of them, are stories that are sent to him.
Yeah.
So that, we'll probably get into those. I'd love to get some of those stories for him to talk about those stories and more, and share them on the show. Again, this coming Halloween for the Halloween special this year. Yeah. So we're not broadcasting this Sunday night, and again, we're not broadcasting next Sunday night. We'll be back on, what is it, the 24th?
I believe so. Hang on.
The 24th, I believe it is, right?
Yeah, 24th.
The 24th. And as it stands right now, we're going to have our good friend all the way from Sweden, Fred Anderson.
Yeah.
Is going to be on the show. I'm looking forward to having Fred back on.
Yeah, so am I. And this is not to get confused with the Maple Leafs former goalie.
No.
Fred.
No.
This is a different Fred Anderson.
No. Different Fred Anderson. So we're gonna get it. We're gonna talk. He's a producer.
Mm-hmm.
He's right now. He's currently working on Sweden's #1 paranormal reality show.
Nice.
I can't remember the name of it because the English name of it, I can't remember offhand exactly what it is. He's I think it was season 3 that they're in. Something like that. So we'll get more of that obviously when Fred comes on the show, but we'll be talking about all sorts of weird shit because he also has a podcast in Swedish. Unfortunately, it's not available in English. But what he does is he scours the net for some of the weirdest, most fucked up stories. I swear to God, he finds some of the weirdest stuff out there.
Yeah, and he's also written some books too.
He's written a lot. Yeah, he's written, but actually, he just released a children's book on creatures, no less. Unfortunately, that again is only in Swedish. I know he was saying that there might, be an English version later on, but his actual books, are in English and are available on Amazon. Fred Anderson, just look for Fred Anderson on Amazon or wherever you get your books or whatever. I think it's Amazon anyways that they're available. His children book, again, is only in Swedish. So can you read Swedish?
No. I cannot, but I wanted to say hi to some of the people in the chat there. #1 fan, Simon, Cool Tools, obviously. Just give a shout out to them. Yeah,
thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah, on an odd night.
Yeah, it was sort of on the whim. We have done Friday night shows before in the past.
Yes, we have. Yeah.
But I mean, again, we're not broadcasting this Sunday, and we weren't actually going to broadcast tonight because we were going to shoot some more footage for the upcoming documentary, The Dark Woodlot. Unfortunately, the weather, wasn't supposed to agree with us, and it turned out it would have.
Yeah.
So
of course.
Oh well. What are you gonna do? Not too much. So I don't know. Huh?
Nothing much.
So Ed, good news. We've Reeves Cook, who was with Garrett Davies on Paratalk, is continuing the gamut. He's picked up the reins and has brought Paratalk back. He will be starting, I believe, the end of the month. And he has forwarded us the promo for the show, the new Paratalk show.
Which I can play now if you like.
Yeah, go ahead. Play it. Go ahead.
Here's the promo.
Reeves here from Paratalk. Just a quick message to let you know that Paratalk now has a new home. You can find the show at paratalkpodcast.com. Website launching soon, along with all new Paratalk episodes.
That's it.
So that'll be pretty cool. Oh, you're sounding a little snowy there. Sounds like it's raining.
Sounds like it's raining?
Yeah. It's weird. Your audio sounds a little off.
Maybe it is. No? Yeah. I should be fine.
Anyways, now it's okay. I guess there was some left in the audio clip. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
But whatever. So that is cool to hear that Reeves is continuing, and Reeves will be coming on our show probably in November. We're just working out something with Reeves, because again, he's in the UK, and well, when we broadcast, it's what 2-3 o'clock in the morning there, something like that.
So Cool Tools asked if it's a Paratalk as a UK channel. It wasn't initially. However, I think Reeves is taking over the channel from because Gareth used to do it here and he was in the States, but obviously
Reeves was a part of it.
Yeah, Reeves was a part of it, but since Gareth's passing, Reeves has decided to take over the channel, so he's in the UK. So I guess now technically you can say it's a UK based channel at the moment, or podcast rather.
Yeah, I can't remember what night that Gareth would release the episodes. But I know they recorded them early, so Reeves could do them as well, right? So, yeah, and there's some really, really cool stuff. I don't know. I don't know about the archives, the Paratalk archives, because a lot of the Mindset archives have been saved. And people do have the archive shows out there. And again, there are some. I don't think he did them. He didn't do them on YouTube, did he? It was just Mindset.
Paratalk, I don't think he did on YouTube.
No, I don't think he did it on.
I think it was strictly on podcast.
Yeah. So I don't know about the archives. If I'm sure somebody probably saved them and somebody has them out there. I don't know if they're available on some other format right now. Again, that's something I'll ask Reeves about. But yeah, some really cool stuff that those guys used to discuss. I mean, some classic hauntings.
Yeah,
were discussed on there. I believe stuff like the Ensfield and all sorts of crazy classic hauntings that many people remember, and some that probably nobody knows anything about might have been covered as well. And not just that. I mean, they covered a lot of stuff under the paranormal umbrella. So that's pretty cool to hear that Reeves is bringing that back and will be providing some new stories, which is cool. So you know what? Play the promo one more time. Might as well do it.
Sure. Hang on.
Let's do it.
Reeves here from Paratalk. Just a quick message to let you know that Paratalk now has a new home. You can find the show at paratalkpodcast.com. Website launching soon, along with all new Paratalk episodes.
Awesome.
So you know what? I just saw something on my soundboard. I had recorded a prediction that Gareth made. I don't know if you remember this. We were talking about people landing on Mars and when that'll happen.
Okay.
And I had recorded that. So this is the last, I guess, recording of Gareth that I have. Do you want me to play the clip?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Yep.
Roughly what year do you think we'll see the very first manned Mars mission?
Probably by the end of the decade.
You think so?
Yeah, probably.
That's his prediction. So we'll see if it comes true.
There's so much audio that we could go back and sort of clip and play that Gareth was a part of. So, hey Simon, hey number one fan, hey Sunshine, thanks for joining us. Yeah, so we're gonna throw out some EVPs in a bit. And again, we'll open the lines. The lines will be open for you guys if you want to call in or so on and so on. The number to call is 716-406-4472. Once again, that's 716-406-4472. 406-4472 if you'd like to call into the show. And, maybe talk about one of the EVPs we're playing, or if you have an experience, or if you have something that you want to discuss.
Yeah.
By all means, we'd love to hear from you. And so give us a call. Once again, that's 716-406-4472 is the number to call. You want to take a short break?
Sure.
When we come back, we'll rifle off some EVPs and get your thoughts and more. So hold tight. You're watching Nocturnal Frequency Radio here on our YouTube channel.
welcome back, folks. Back from the dead.
Short break. Once again, you've tuned in or watching Nocturnal Frequency Radio. And if you want to follow us, you can do so on Twitter at Dark Discussions. And of course, Instagram, Nocturnal Frequency Radio, and Facebook. Just go to the search box and say, or type Nocturnal Frequency Radio, and you'll find our page.
Yes, you will.
Like and subscribe the channel, please, for, obviously to keep up to date with what's going on. Again, I've unfortunately the last week I have not been putting up any archives. I've got some archives in the queue ready to throw up there, so I'll probably be doing a lot of that while I'm off for 3 weeks. I'll probably be doing that, as much as possible as well. So, a lot of really cool archives. I think. One I wanted to put up today, but unfortunately I didn't have enough time. Today marks the 10th anniversary of a guest of ours, a really good friend who passed away, and that's David Hess, the actor who some of you might remember from Wes Craven's Last House on the Left. He played Krug. Was a good friend of the show, and at the time, I was working with him to get a movie. He wanted to get back into the directing chair. He'd only directed one movie before, and he had a script that he wanted to have produced and wanted to shoot it out in Vancouver. And unfortunately, I still have the script, and I'm like, I've been meaning to get in contact with his son to see if it's possible that we could go ahead and shoot it, but I don't know if it'd be right, because I mean, this is something that David wanted to shoot. He wanted to be the director, so I don't know. It's sitting in limbo right now, and it's a really cool script, man. Really cool. Unfortunately, unable to get it out there. Too bad. Anyways, today, and it's. I think it was you that told me.
Told you what?
About him passing. I remember. I was away, and I think it was in Victor, New York. To be honest, we were because this time of the year we always go away. Usually down to the States for a week for our anniversary. And I think I got a text from you.
It's possible. I don't remember that far back.
I think it was a text that you sent me a text, and you said David has passed away.
Yep.
I hadn't been looking at stuff, so obviously I didn't know. And when you told me that, I was like, wow. Just everything sunk. I'm like, holy shit. I was just like talking to him a few days. I think it was like a week before that. Because like I said, we were working on logistics for his script for, finding a producer in Vancouver. So,
do you remember what he passed from? Like what the issue was?
He had a heart attack.
Oh, he had a heart attack.
He had a massive heart attack. He had a massive heart attack, and yes, it's really too bad, man. The guy was just I don't know if you remember much from the interviews that we did with him, but he had such a larger than life personality. This guy was like, he could be very intimidating to a lot of people. If you didn't know him, he could be very intimidating, but he was a super nice guy, very super nice guy, musician. He's credited with some very, very popular songs in the 50s and 60s. Offhand, I couldn't tell you right now, but some songs that I believe one of them was he wrote for Elvis Presley. I couldn't tell you the name of the song offhand, but and of course he wrote much of the music for Wes Craven's Last House on the Left as well. There's a couple tracks in there that if people are familiar with the movie, would be familiar with the music, obviously, that he was responsible for. So yeah, really, really sad. I mean, obviously, that was his best known character, and I mean, he's been in a few movies, quite a few. But people always tend to gravitate to his crew character on Craven's Last House on the Left. So, yeah, I just reading Sunshine's experience there. That's pretty interesting, Sunshine.
Mm-hmm. The printer being
thrown in the middle of the night on the floor, and no one was in the room. That's pretty intense.
I've never had something. Well, then again, I'm a ghost deterrent anyway, so nothing ever happens to me.
I like I said, I've mentioned a few times on the show over the years that we've had some really screwed up stuff happen here. Some really, like I said, one night I think it was like 2:00 in the morning. Yeah, like 2:00 in the morning, and our bedroom door opened up and closed. Literally just opened up and closed.
That's weird.
For no reason, man. And like I said, people go, oh, it might have been the wind or something, but no, the door was closed. Like, I mean, you literally have to turn the handle for the door to open.
Yeah.
Yeah,
stuff like that never
somebody
happens
goes, well, somebody was in your house. No, I checked. There's nobody in the house. I mean,
except for your backyard.
Yeah, well, that was pretty unnerving. That was unnerving. You want to do something, but you don't know if the guy's got a weapon or whatever. It just
exactly.
You don't you hate to be in that situation.
Oh yeah.
The guy has a gun or a knife or whatever. Yeah.
You never know.
No, you never know. So I mean, that was quite unnerving. And like I said, I've had a picture fall off the wall and literally fall down the stairs, hit the floor, and rolled into the washroom on the main level, and like picture side up, like leaning up on the wall, without any damage to the glass or anything.
Really? No damage to the glass?
No glass. The glass didn't break. Nothing. So automatically, when most pictures fall from that distance, that distance,
the glass shatters.
Glass shatters. I mean, it's not like you put in like temper-proof glass into these picture frames. Like a lot of them are dirt cheap.
Yeah.
But there was absolutely no damage to the glass at all. None. What else? What else? We were away, and my neighbor heard some loud music from the house. Thought we were having a party, and we weren't even home.
That's right. I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, knocking on the front door, ringing the doorbell, like there's nobody in the house. All the lights were off. There's no lights on. And when we go away, we usually unplug everything, just in case of fires and stuff.
Sure.
We unplug stuff. We're not using them, like computer and TV and stereo and all that kind of stuff. Whatever doesn't need to be plugged in while we're not home, we unplug it. Just safety. And yeah, neighbor, they couldn't. I got home and nothing looked out of place, and yet my neighbor was like, you could hear it like literally through the wall, and we've got a firewall.
Yeah.
So you literally have to yell for them to hear you. So I don't know. I can't explain it. Can't explain it.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird.
I've had a number of other things happen here, smaller stuff, but all weird, man. All weird.
The only thing that happens here is I get fucking the occasional spider dropping on my laptop.
Is that scary for you?
No, it's just like here's the funny thing. So the first day after I moved my office to the basement, because I was still working from home 5 days a week at the time.
Yeah.
So, everything was set up nice. I had my, you can't see it here, obviously, but to my right is where my workstation is. So I had that set up, and I flipped over the laptop, turned it on, and just as soon as I turn it on, a fucking huge spider just drops from the ceiling right onto the laptop. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. First day, right? It's like, come on. So yeah, I got rid of it. Right. But still, it was just one of those things. It's like, man, there's a sign of things to come in this basement.
There you go. It's Loki's way of saying hello.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you want to play some EVPs? Guy, I don't know. You guys want to hear some EVPs? Yeah. Electric voice phenomena.
Sound off in the comments if you want to hear them.
Yeah, we're got a whole bunch loaded up, and again, these are ones that I've captured, and you have a couple there. I think too, Alex, right?
I have one or two, I think. One for sure.
Yeah, and again, a few that I just recently rediscovered in the archives. God. I really need to get into my old hard drive and find, because I got so much on my old hard drive, and I really wish I knew how to extract the files from it. I really don't know how to extract it, and I mean, I know make it into an external hard drive, and a lot of it's plug and play. But this hard drive is an older hard drive, so I mean, I literally don't know how to do it. So, I don't know.
You have to take it to the Geek Squad.
No, I took it there. No, actually, I took it to Canada Computer.
And they couldn't figure it out?
They said it probably cost me a couple $100 to extract it.
Ah, fuck.
I'm like, no. Whatever. It doesn't cost that much, but that's what they want to charge. But okay. All right, let's play some EVPs, man.
Sure.
Okay, so so which one you got loaded up?
I got a bunch of them loaded up. So
okay, well okay, one at a time here. Which one you got? What's the first one?
Let's go with the Rob recorder first.
Okay, so this is from the Cherry Hill House, and I think so. Hopefully, it's not the Waverly Hills one.
I don't think so. I want to play it.
Play it.
Their menu that was online. It was not the same menu.
That's it.
Okay, play it again.
Their menu that was online. It was not the same menu.
Okay, so you know what? Play the Grant recorder too. So this is the same file, just taken on a different recorder. So the two different recorders captured this.
Okay, here we go.
Their menu that was online.
So it's like I hear like a female voice in the background as Rob's talking.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm assuming that's the EVP, right?
That is. Okay. That is it. And again, there was no females in the room. That was taken during an investigation of the Cherry Hill House in Mississauga. It's has a long history of many stories of it being haunted by a woman, the original owner, whose name was Jane Silverthorne. And this house was moved in the 70s because they were making they had to make room for to build a road. So they had to move it from its original place to where it is now. The original, from what I understand, where they put it, or was originally on what was supposedly an Indian burial ground, like a native burial ground.
Mm. This is not the same place where we had that Christmas thing.
It was, yes.
One where you took a picture of me and Big Bird?
Yes, that's
right.
The very same place.
Okay.
The very same place. Very interesting place. Unfortunately, the owner doesn't own it anymore, the one that we were in contact with. It's since been sold, and apparently they don't want to have anything to do with the people in there investigating it.
That sucks. It's a nice place.
Yeah. Sorry?
It's a nice place.
It is a nice place, yeah. It's a very nice place.
Just for people who don't know this, I mean, it's basically turned into a restaurant. It was, I guess, at one point it was a house.
It is, yeah. It's a restaurant now. Yes. It's a restaurant. So, but
what is the woman saying? Do you know what? No, it's not. Sorry, Sunshine. I can't slow it down, unfortunately. I don't know. Let's hear it one more time. I don't really know what she's saying. I don't know if you know, Steve, but hang on.
Their menu that was online. It was not the same menu.
Okay. So if you keep talking, I could quickly edit it and send it to you.
Oh, the edited version?
Well, what I'll do is I'll slow it down and I'll prop it out. It'll take 2 seconds.
Okay, well, go ahead. What I can do in the meantime, I can play one of my EVPs.
Yeah, you play your EVP and then yeah.
Okay, so while Steve's doing that, I'll relate a quick story for some of the folks here who may not have heard this. I mean, we played this EVP before, but it was at an abandoned asylum about maybe 45 minutes from where I live. And we went in there a bunch of times, didn't get anything. And then one night we went in there. It was about 4 of us. We were on the top floor because it was a complex that had multiple buildings. Just to give you an idea what this place was like. And we were in one of the big main buildings that in this complex, and it was 4 of us. We were on the top floor. We split up into 2 groups of 2s. I went with my friend Jen one way. The other 2 people went the opposite way, and we were walking down the hallway. She stops at a staircase and says, there's something down there. She's basically telling me that she feels like there's something down the stairs, right? Main level or potentially the basement, but either way. So I told her, okay, let's finish, the floor, and then we'll go down. We went into the room right after the staircase on the same side, and I took out my recorder and I started recording. And this is what I captured. Now you're going to hear Jen, my friend Jen, babbling in the background, but at the same time that she's talking, you're going to hear a whisper, a male whisper. I'm not going to say what I think it says just yet, but just pay attention to the whisper in the background. Okay, so for those of you who may have not have caught it, I'll play it one more time, and I'll stop it quicker this time, just because it's a pretty long clip. Hang on. Okay. So that's the and let me know in the comments if you heard the whisper in the background, if you know what it's saying. I've had a bunch of people analyze this clip, and they verified that there's two distinct waveforms. We've tried to. This is the clip that hasn't been modified. We tried to clean it up as much as possible to try to bring that whisper to the forefront. And when we listened to it after the fact, what we thought we heard was everybody who still hears down the stairs. So I'm going to play it one more time and see if you can capture it. Okay, it's very hard to hear, but it sounds like two different women. Yeah, well, it's the unfortunate part is that there was echoing in that room, Sunshine. That's why you kind of hear two women, but it's actually just one. It was my friend Jen talking, and it was echoing, but it's the whisper that's happening at the same time she's talking that you need to listen to. I'm going to play it quickly one more time. Is your clip ready, Steve?
Almost. I'm almost there. I just want to make it very clear.
All right. Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna play another clip, another EVP I captured at a different location. This is in it was an old textile factory that got turned into offices in downtown Toronto. And a friend of mine had an office in there, and he kept telling me that okay, hold on a second. Oh my God, the whisper. I didn't hear it before. Yeah, exactly. That's what you need to pay attention to is the whisper. So yeah, the women. Exactly. It is a man whispering. Exactly. Yes. And that's the funny thing. So it's obviously we didn't hear it when we were there, right? No, my friend kept blabbing. I have the recorder. And it's hard to, well, actually, you can see it because I'm on YouTube here. But I had it less than a full arm's length away. I had it about here. I know what some people have argued that it was me who was whispering, but I can almost guarantee you that if I'm holding it this far away from me and I'm whispering, you'd hear it a lot clearer than you hear this one. So I know you guys don't know me from a hole in the wall, but I'm telling you, I wasn't saying a word. I'm recording this whole thing, and she's blabbing off, telling me a story. I'm not even paying attention to what she's saying to me, because my focus is trying to, record and trying to see, walk around the room. It wasn't a very big room, but walking around, and the echoing, obviously, you hear because it isn't a very big room. But yeah, the whisper is what really captured me or got me when I went back home and listened to it. But anyway, going on to the second EVP. At this old textile factory turned into offices, my friend said he kept feeling something weird around the kitchenette area, which is close to the washrooms. Go figure. But he kept, saying there's something weird going on around that area. I kind of feel weird every time I go to the washroom and I walk by that area. So one night we decided to go down there, and we went in, obviously after hours when all the offices were closed and he had access because he has an office there. So we we didn't set up the equipment. We didn't have much equipment. We had recorders, and I had my EMF meter, and it was about maybe 4 or 5 of us that were there. And I made it specifically clear to everybody that was there, when we're recording, shut your pie hole, don't say a word, and if you have to say something, say it loud enough for me to be able to hear it and distinguish that it's you talking, right? So this clip, what you're going to hear is beeping. That's obviously the EMF meter. And my friend John is the one who's holding the recorder. He's basically demanding whatever's there to tell us its name. So, and it does. It responds. We have an idea of what the name is. We could be wrong. You let us know what you think in the comments. in the chat rather, and now I'm going to play it right now.
Tell us your name. Tell us your name.
Okay, let me play just one more time for everybody to listen to it again.
Tell us your name. Tell us your name.
You heard that, Steve, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know what kind of name you heard, but I'm gonna wait to see if anybody actually if they write in the chat what they think they heard, because it'll be interesting to see what they heard. But those are the two EVPs that I captured. I mean, I've captured some more, but I'm not gonna go into all of them.
Pie hole.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta tell people to shut their pie hole, because you know what? That's the one thing that I can't stand when you're doing recordings is people talking. And you know what kills me though? And I don't know, Steve, I don't know if you've encountered this when you've gone on an investigation, but it seems like whenever you're doing an investigation, or sorry, an EVP session, people have a tendency to fucking whisper.
Yeah,
which makes it worse.
Well, yeah, and I make a note when we're doing this type of work that don't whisper.
Yeah.
If you're going to talk
normally.
Just talk normally.
Yeah.
Don't whisper, because it makes it so much harder to analyze the audio afterwards, unless you mark. Excuse me. Unless you make a note, you mark. I tend to mark if I make a noise or whatever, if I cough or whatever, or if there's some talking in the background that might come off as somebody talking, I mark it and on audio. Oh, that's so and so talking. Oh, that's me coughing. I will do that.
Yep.
And I ask others to do it too, to sort of better understand the audio when you're reviewing it.
Exactly.
I can't stand it when people whisper.
I know. That's why I say pie hole. It's funny.
Yeah.
Of course it's funny, because it's an old saying. It shows my age. Okay, so I got the edited Cherry Hill loaded up.
Okay, so play the original again, so everybody in the chat or listening or whatever get an idea again of what's being.
Okay.
Their menu that was online. It was not the same menu.
All right. So now I'm going to play the edited version.
That was online. That was online. That was online.
It's kind of hard because Rob's talking at the same time.
It's hard. I've slowed it down a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, to me, I'll tell you what I think I'm hearing. And I don't normally like doing this, because then I contaminate your thoughts.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you tell me what you think you're hearing.
It's hard to hear. Hold on, I'll play one more time.
Okay.
That was online. That was online.
It's hard to make out because Rob's voice is like at the same time.
Now, after listening to it while editing it again, what I sort of gather is a female saying, "There she is."
Let's try this again.
That was online. That was online.
Yeah, you know what? It does kind of sound like that. Yes.
It kind of, but then again, people will get a different thing, and that's fine. And like I said, it's really, like you said, Alex, it's hard to really hear it. But after editing it and sort of, it's really, I'm having a hard time secluding and extracting her, like the voice away from Rob's and whoever else is talking.
Yeah.
right? But there was no female present at the time of that recording at all. No, none.
So Sunshine says the EVP I played with the name sounds like Winston Torf or Winforth Koch. Maybe, but what we thought we heard, and I'm going to play that one more time, is Mike McCullen. So I'm gonna play it one more time and see if that's what you hear.
Tell us your name. Tell us your name.
Yes, Sunshine, you're correct. Our brains do fill in the gaps. Yes.
Yeah, that's a common, and that's why I don't like to. Okay, if you're reviewing audio, and the process is simple. If you have a piece, if you're one of the guys in the team, like my team, whatever, if you have, discovered that you have a piece of audio, I say, look it, send me the audio. Don't tell me anything about it. Just let me hear it and let me make my own judgment what I'm hearing. And I say, look it, the same. Send it to everybody else, but don't say anything about what your thoughts about that audio. Send it to me. Don't send it to the rest of the gang. Send it to me. So that way the rest of the gang isn't contaminated with what everybody else thinks about. They have their own thoughts on what they're hearing. And so basically, when you throw it out there, you put it together and you get a general consensus of what everybody's thinking. For the most part, if it's a really good EVP, you're going to be close.
Yeah.
Relatively close in what you think what's being said. Right? And therefore you go with that, obviously, because everybody's hearing the same thing. But that doesn't always happen. That doesn't always happen.
So, Cool Tools said a comment. I've never done this before, but I have a spot where I think it might work. Phones can pick stuff up great for photos. I'm thinking you're referring to obviously anomalous photos like paranormal photos and or EVPs. The problem with phones, though, I find, is that the flash is very close to the lens. And Steve, correct me if I'm wrong, because you're better at this than I am with photography. But when the flash is so close to the lens, and there's a lot of dust particles around, or insects, that can get misconstrued as paranormal because it comes up as a big bright blob.
Yeah,
especially insects.
I mean, I have trouble with photos that are taking on cell phones still anyways. I really do.
Yeah.
I have trouble because there's so many variables that go into play with using a cell phone camera. I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of the cameras are really good now, but because you have so many things on that phone, like that can sort of, work itself into the information of the photo.
Yeah, and that's the thing that sucks because it's hard to explain, but you could be capturing something, but there could also be other stuff that's in the frame that's muddying it because of that. So like if you're taking a picture at nighttime with the flash on your cell phone, because the flash is so close to the lens, and any sort of dust particles that flies in can muddy what could actually be captured behind that. And that's the unfortunate part.
I'm kind of interested now because Cool Tools says you can bounce the flash to see matter and other dimensions.
Oh, there you go.
Please explain that to me because I am having a hard time with that one. But
yeah, you know what? If you have that there, if you know what you would not. Let me rephrase that because I'm going to say something that isn't going to come out right.
Yeah.
obviously, if you're saying that you have a theory of how that works, so email that to us, unless you want to write a lengthy comment there. But just email to us, and we'd be more than happy to explore it, because you know what, we're open to trying new things and to seeing if something like that can actually trigger some kind of event that we can capture.
I mean, in all my years of photography and like I said, being in film school and professionally, understanding photography, I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me at all.
But it's not out of the, well, I mean, hey, just because we don't understand it doesn't mean it's not real, right?
No, and that's why I'm asking, to just explain it a little bit more to me. So I do try to understand that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, absolutely. I'm not discounting it at all. I just please explain. So okay. So you're using Windows
to bounce the flash.
Okay. And
so where do you see the anomaly? Off the window or off the bounce of the flash?
My main concern with that is pareidolia.
That's obviously a possibility too.
Yeah, that's my main. Yeah.
But you know what? If you're able to send us a very, I guess, descriptive email on how to do that, Steve and I would be more than happy to try it out. I mean, I'd be happy to try it out. It's one of those things. It's like we're willing to try whatever we can to see if we can capture something. I mean, I've tried all kinds of things. I've tried scrying. Hang on. Let me show you what I got. One sec.
Mr. Scryer.
All right.
Oh, look at this. Look at this, eh?
It's a scry mirror. See? It's a black mirror. It's used for scrying, obviously. I've had this for God knows how long, but I've had it for a long time.
Oh my God, you showed my reflection.
Yeah. So the funny thing is that a long time ago, this is going back.
Sunshine brought up a good point there.
What's that?
Sorry.
I didn't see it.
You sure you're not capturing the impurities in the glass? I mean, that's another possibility, obviously.
Right. Well, this is why Cool Tools also said very clean glass. So you have to make sure the glass is very clean. But unless the glass itself might be clean, but it might be wavy, it might be whatever. I mean, there are a lot of factors you have to take in consideration. But getting back to this, years ago, this is going well over a decade ago.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised I still remember. So I was doing this on a nightly basis, and it's funny because there was this friend of mine at the time that I used to hang out with quite a bit, and he started getting on my nerves, and I don't talk to the guy anymore, obviously. But one of the distinctive features that he had was a gap, like he has a gap in his two front teeth, the two main teeth. Distinctive feature, right? And the reason why I say that is because of this, what I'm going to relate. So as I'm trying to scry, and I've been doing this, weeks on end, and I wasn't really getting anywhere. And then one night, I'm there looking at the mirror, just minding my own business, trying to say, oh, look at Steve. He's all flashy now. And I see an image, what appears to be an image pop out of the mirror of someone who has a gap in their teeth. I didn't get a clear picture of that because it was over immediately. Like, it was very quick. So I didn't know what to make of it. But it almost felt like an omen of something bad, something bad was going to happen. And sure enough, him and I ended up having a falling out, and no longer friends, obviously. And there you go. So maybe this was an omen. That image of The big gap in the teeth.
It was a scrying omen.
Yeah, crying or scrying, one of the two.
Scrying omen.
Yeah.
All right. Do we want to play another one?
Yeah, we could play another one. Hold on.
Let's play another one.
Let's see what else we have here. We have the one that you've titled your own name. I think it was
I don't know what this one is.
Okay, so let me play and then you can describe what it is.
Yeah, it's talking. That's Mars. They're coming down.
Okay, so this is in the Spruce Lane farmhouse, and I'm sitting in the front parlor where they had funerals back in the day, and I'm sitting and doing an EVP session. And again, what you're hearing me is just mark the audio again. Like there's people talking in the background. I'm marking that so-and-so talking in the background. And what you hear is you hear something. And basically what you hear happens exactly when my shirt was tugged on the sleeve like this. Like literally going like that. And this front parlor room, the building itself, the house itself, you've been in there, Alex. They don't have the windows open.
No.
So there's no wind or anything that had the energy to do that. And I immediately told the guys after that happened, check the video footage, check the audio. So play it again and
okay.
Tell me what you think.
Yeah, it's talking. That's Mars. They're coming down.
So what do you hear, Alex?
I hear like a little girl talking. I don't know what she said, but it's
a little talk. You hear a little girl talking?
Yeah, it sounds
really?
Well. It sounds like a little girl.
You got to remember in the background there's somebody talking.
Okay.
Okay, and I like I said, I marked that in the audio. Mars is talking in the background. Okay. So whatever talking you're hearing, just like throw that out the window. That's
all right.
That's okay.
Let me play one more time.
Yep.
Yeah, it's talking. That's Mars. They're coming down.
Is that at the very beginning of the clip?
Okay, so play it again.
Okay.
Yeah, it's talking.
Now you hear that?
Mars.
Yeah, I hear that guy.
They're coming down.
You're like a
yeah. That's what I meant by a little girl. It sounds like a little girl.
Okay, so basically what I'm getting there is like somebody is trying to work up enough energy to possibly say something but can't say it. It's like they're sick and they can't
really talk.
They can't really talk. And like I said, that was precisely when my shirt sleeve was tugged. So we timed it with both, and they turned out to be around the same time.
Well, yeah, you're right. It kind of sounds like someone's like incapacitated and just trying to mumble something or trying to force something out.
Exactly. And there was nobody in the room there with me. It was just myself. Like I said, what you're hearing the voices in the background. They're in another room.
Yeah.
I'm in that room by myself.
So I got some more if you want to play, or do you want to take a break?
You want to take a break? We'll take a short break.
Yeah, we'll take a short break.
We'll take a short break. And we'll be right back.
We'll be right back, folks.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back, folks. We're live.
Welcome back.
In your face.
Wow. Yeah, so EVPs, a wonderful sort of area of research that has led me down to infrasound.
Yep.
And I do believe infrasound holds the key to what we know as EVP. Sorry, electric voice phenomena. So, absolutely. I do. I agree, Sunshine. I mean, it's a basic knowledge now that scientists do believe in the multiverse. So, I mean, I believe, yeah. It's just, I mean, you look at ITC research out of the UK, oh God, years ago, and I've mentioned this a few times. Most people will believe EVP being, the remnants of an, a dead loved one. The dead, the dearly departed. But I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I believe there's something else going on, and that, I think, to me is it. Yeah, a dimension, a glitch. ITC's research brought to light something. I wish I could find the recordings. I know they're online somewhere, and I really would love to track them down again. There's a recording out there where they released of somebody that they'd had made contact with during their experimentation with somebody, one of the guys on their teams that had passed away, and a scientist that a well-known scientist that had passed away, that they had supposedly again, I'm going to say supposedly, but made contact with this particular person through audio, and the information that this person was providing them, and the audio is just very eerie, Alex, very eerie. Basically saying to those that are collecting the audio that we here real time are in sort of like a purgatory sort of state. And when you die, you actually transition into what is called the real world. So essentially here right now, we are experiencing, I don't know, hell? I don't know.
Sometimes feels that way.
But the claim is through these recordings that we are in fact waiting to experience real life. And that real life is the transition that you go through when you pass away, when you die. So, I mean, if that's the case, that's kind of positive,
I guess.
Right? But
I guess the not so positive part is that we're living in hell at the moment.
At times it feels like it, right?
It does feel like it sometimes, yes.
At times it really does. The stresses that you have to go through on a daily basis, everything from health to just daily life. It does feel like hell.
No denying that.
Yeah, I mean, and there's so much thought out there that we are in fact in, a simulation. Again, that's another theory out there that we're in fact, we have no freedom at all.
We're in the Matrix.
A Matrix-like like environment that we're not conscious, more or less. We're subconsciously going through life like as we know it, right? And that's realistically not what's happening.
I've always, not always, I shouldn't say always, but some of the ideas I've had about existence in general, is almost like stages. Obviously, like you have your infant stage, toddler stage, young child, teenager, young adult, so on and so forth. And I think, as far as if you want to talk about a soul, we're at the infant stage. This, what we're in now, is the infant stage. When we die, we move on to the toddler stage, which is the next realm. When we die from there, we move on to the early childhood, and so on and so forth until we get to who knows, right? But that's one idea I've had, mulling around my head, is that we're at the beginning stages right now of our soul's journey, so to speak, and it just progressively gets older and older.
It's, I mean, we all like to sit here and say, okay, look at death is not the end, but a transition that we're going somewhere else. And if you want to look at a molecular sort of, state, I mean, energy is infinite.
Mm-hmm.
We continue, our energy is perhaps maybe our soul. What they mean by our soul, and it carries on in whatever way or form or whatever. I mean, we look at sound, for instance. Sound carries on. I mean, us broadcasting right now, it continues on in in space, more or less. It continues on. It's an echo. It's an imprint now that continues. Hey Ray, how are you? It's hey, there's Ray. Guys,
Ray, what's going on, Ray?
Who owns New Visions Radio? Who we are part of, happily a part of. Hey Ray, good to see you, man. Yep, happy Thanksgiving up here. That's for sure. Sunday, Monday, whatever. Turkey time. It's just really weird, man. That when you, it's like trying to figure out the size of the universe, right? And you could literally drive yourself insane trying to figure out the size of the universe.
Because it's beyond our grasp.
It's beyond our grasp, and that's trying right now. Trying to understand what life, I guess, what essentially is. It's beyond our grasp. At this point in time, I mean, science will say, well, look, no, you die and that's it. And people don't want to have that sort of thought going around their head that, oh my God, this is the end.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, it almost makes you feel like, what the fuck's the point? Like if all we're here for is this physical life, and then once we die, that's it. There's nothing else beyond this. Why? Like, what's the point? You know what I mean? This is what I struggle with on a daily basis, almost, in saying, if there isn't an afterlife, if let's say all the atheists are correct. Let's say the atheists are. Hold on, what's Simon saying? Alex, you're letting me down on the whiskey. Come on, man! I already had two shots, or like two.
That's it, just two.
Come on, I gotta clean the liver once in a while. But anyway, as I was saying, I go, if all it is like, this is it, and at the end of it, we just die, and the atheists are correct, and there's nothing beyond, the physical. What you see is what you get, kind of deal. I mean, that kind of sucks. I mean, what the hell is the point of it then? What's the point of us being here to begin with? You know what I mean? And that's one of the things I struggle with. I mean, if we're here, if we're conscious, if we're able to say, you know, I exist, and that's what differentiates us from all the other animals and mammals and whatever other wildlife, we know we're here. We know we exist. We know we are who we are. Why? What's the point of it all if there's nothing beyond it? That's kind of depressing, really. That's why I drink whiskey, Simon.
You're getting real deep here for me, man.
That's why I drink whiskey. It calms,
that's not whiskey.
It calms down the voices in my head.
It calms down the voices in your head. Yeah, it's you know, and that's a common theme. I mean, billions of people, you know, think that all the time. Why are we here? What's the point? What's the point? You know, we're just a fucking ape that got lucky and advanced with our you know knowledge. You know, I mean, but really, is that it? No, I don't believe that for a second. For a minute.
And that's the struggle I feel. That's the struggle I have, right? So this is why I do, or why I'm involved in the paranormal, is to find that definitive answer. Not necessarily so that I can prove it to everybody else in the world, because I could really care less about that. It's to prove to myself that yes, there is an afterlife, or some form of afterlife, you know, some form of existence where I can definitively say, okay, this isn't all that there is to be. You know what I mean? Where it's not just this and that's it. There's something beyond this.
I think one of the weirdest feelings to ever have, and that is a sense of detachment.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever experienced that.
On occasion, I've kind of, and I know you're going to laugh when I say this, but when I've had just the right amount of whiskey, I do feel that sometimes. It's a sort of detachment.
Really?
Yeah, it could be the whiskey talking, but still, I have felt it, yes.
I have felt that in the past. You know, it's been a long time. I have not felt it in such a long time, but I remember when I was in a dark period. I mean, I was going through the motions with a lot of things, and there was points where I literally would feel detached from my body. Like I literally did not feel that I was supposed to be there. And it's the weirdest feeling, man. It
is.
And you sit there and go, okay, is this my consciousness sort of trying to break free? I mean, you look at people who are, you know, who are, you know, most people would say mental, that have spent their lives in a mental institution. They talk to walls and whatever else. I mean, there's all sorts of conditions, schizophrenia, whatever. But when you really look at these conditions, you sit there and go, are these people really crazy?
I know, I've thought about that too.
Or are they really patching into something that we
cannot
have been sort of disconnected from because of, say, like social domestication or filters that we have been, you know, brought up, you know, from early childhood to believe, you know, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like I've said, I mean, it's almost like these people have their filters out of whack and they're seeing the whole gamut, whereas most of us have the filters in place and don't see it. And that's what's making them, well, it's what's making them so, because everybody's telling them what you're seeing is not real. So obviously that's going to make you, pardon the expression, but it's going to make you crazy. Obviously, if you keep telling people, I see this, and they keep telling you it's not real, obviously, at some point, you're going to snap, right? But you're right. I mean, I've thought about that too. And it's like, maybe these people are just capable of seeing and hearing things that us, quote unquote, normal people are not able to, because our filters are in place and theirs aren't. And maybe that's what they're experiencing. Maybe. And don't get me wrong. I'm not suggesting that is in fact the case. That's just a possibility.
And you know what? That's another thing. I mean, you sit there and go, what is normal?
Yeah.
I mean, normal is an outline that society has said, look, you're placed here because you're normal, because you're following the rules. You're doing this, you're doing that. You believe this, you believe that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the norm. I mean, essentially, like, I mean, when I tell people I investigate the paranormal, they sit there and go, really? That's not normal. Of course it's not normal.
But you're not normal.
Well, yeah, why?
Because I said so.
Yeah, but normal in whose eyes and why?
Because I said so.
If you walk around.
So normal is basically it's subjective, obviously, right?
Well, obviously, yeah.
It's what like, the majority of the people agree to be quote unquote normal, and if the majority deem the advent of paranormal to be not normal, then it's not normal, and it's paranormal, right? So I mean, it's like I said, it's very subjective, obviously. It basically goes based on the majority. So if the majority of people think, let's say for the sake of this argument, the majority of the population believed that, whatever, this sort of being existed, right? Don't want to really get into semantics here, just making it plain. Then that would be the norm. And everything else would be abnormal. Anybody who would believe otherwise would be abnormal, right? And that's basically what it doesn't mean that the norm is right by any stretch, but that's the definition, or that's how they basically define normal, is what the majority of people agree with.
Sure. And as you can see now with how things have played out over the past little while and sort of accelerated over the last couple of years because of COVID, that has drastically changed. What normal was is not necessarily normal now.
Yeah.
And so you're seeing all sorts of shifts in what people would say, well, that's normal now. That's, whereas before it was never thought to have been normal. That's just, okay, that's really screwed up. I mean, we could get right into this and say, look at the Mandela effect, for instance. And things that people remember, could swear and it was never really there.
Yep.
Or what we're told or what we're being believed was never there. I mean, like the harvest basket in the Fruit of the Loom sort of logo, that people swear they remember it there with the fruit, but it was never there. When you go look at the different variations of the logo of Fruit of the Loom, you never see a harvest basket. There's never one there.
Yeah, I never remembered it there. But I do remember the one with Star Wars where Darth Vader says, "Luke, I am your father." Apparently that never happened.
Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of examples.
Yeah.
The Barnstore Bears or whatever.
The Bernstein Bears.
Bernstein's Bears,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
There
was the spelling of the Bernstein Bears, yeah.
Yeah, there's another one. I mean, there's so many examples out there, and you literally swear, oh yeah, I remember that. What the hell?
And the excuse by the quote unquote normal, since we're on that topic, is that it's the fallacy of our memory. So essentially, what they're saying is that we're misremembering.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Right, and And I could agree with that to a point if it was just one or two individuals saying it, maybe five.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have, I don't know, 100, 200 people saying, no, I could have sworn Darth Vader said, Luke, I am your father. There's something interesting going on there. You know what I mean?
And if you have that scenario playing out, and I mean, who's to say that this isn't playing out all the time, Alex? That
Yeah,
in fact,
of course.
something that happened, like, example 9/11.
Yep.
Okay, I remember this happening when I was watching that, and now they're saying that never happened.
Yep.
It happens all the time, and it's amazing that because obviously people watch a lot of mainstream news, and they literally hammer something into your brain if you're constantly watching it, and then all of a sudden the narrative changes, and you're like, wait a sec, what happened to this? It literally disappears, and people say, I don't remember that. What are you
Yep.
talking about?
Exactly.
And I see this, I experience this happening all the time, especially when there's a huge event that happens. And again, that's obviously where a lot of conspiracy theories sort of come out of the woodwork. But when you look at there and you say, no, it's got nothing to do with conspiracy theories. I remember watching this when I was watching the news. This was, this played out, or this was mentioned.
Yep.
And all of a sudden it disappears. Wait. Something's not right here.
It's a question of, okay, fine. Again, like I said, if it was one individual saying this is what I remember, I can believe the argument that, it was misremembering. But when you're talking about a lot of people saying the same thing, it's either one of two scenarios. One, at that moment in time, we tapped into a different alternate universe that had the same event happen slightly different. And that's what we're remembering. Or what else can it be? We've slipped into another dimension after the fact where that event didn't happen the way we remember it. You know what I mean?
Stream. Yeah.
It's kind of weird. I mean, how do you explain it?
It is really weird.
Yeah.
It is. Because I'm just trying to remember. There was a couple incidents that happened, and I remember distinctly. And years later, when you look at it, it's like it was like it was non-existent and didn't happen. I don't understand it. It's like it was swallowed up by time and was literally patched over. And yeah, Shazam. I remember. I can't remember exactly the Shazam one.
Yeah, I remember something about that.
Do you remember that one, Alex? I
vaguely. I don't remember. I don't remember the details of it, but I do remember hearing about Shazam being one of the Mandela effects. I can't remember off the top of my head right now.
Yeah, I mean, it just there's so many examples, and I like I said, there's a lot. I'm sure people have personal ones, like things that you remember, like like a memory will sort of pop out, and oh my God, I remember that when you see an image or hear a song or something, and you go, wow, I remember so and so, and then people will look at you and go, no, it didn't. No, that's not what happened. And then you go, but no, wait a sec. That's how I remember it. I remember seeing it like that. With my own two eyes, I remember that. And again, obviously, fallacy. Fallible. We are fallible creatures. We're very fallible. And I mean, memory. It's like this with the paranormal, Alex. We can't use in many cases our personal experiences as evidence. because it's fallible. It just is. And a lot of times you can explain quite commonly uh, something that you gather with your experience that you're saying, well, that's paranormal. Something paranormal happened. No, it probably didn't. It's something just a matter of explaining. Um, that's why I say human experiences. I mean, yeah, like I'm not saying I don't want to say that's all the time. I mean, there are people that have experiences that you can't explain. That happens quite often. But a lot of times, it's like when people witness testimonies. Again, you're writing down what a certain person witnessed, and when you get five people, chances are all five testimonies are going to be different.
Yeah, they're looking for the commonalities between the five
The
testimonies.
commonalities,
Yeah.
and that's the thing.
Yep.
The Mandela effect.
That's a topic that we should delve into a little bit more.
Oh, definitely, we will be. I think that's pretty much it, man.
That's it, folks. That's all she wrote.
Follow us on Twitter at Dark Discussions, and of course, join our Facebook page to keep up to date with what's going on with the show. Once again, we're not going to be broadcasting in the next 2 Sunday nights. We will be back on the 24th with our good friend all the way live from Sweden, Fred Anderson, writer, producer of one of Sweden's hottest paranormal reality shows there, and more. I mean, he's a big UFO guy. He's got some really interesting stories. Talk about in the UFO world and more. And our Halloween special on the 27th with Mr. X. Don't miss that. That's going to be awesome, man.
Yeah, it is.
I'm looking forward to that. That's really cool. Looking forward to that. And again, like I said, we're looking to have Reeves Cook on the show probably sometime in November. We'll work that out. Looking forward to having Reeves on the show. And again, looking forward to him bringing back Paratalk. I think Gareth would be very proud of that. So that's awesome. Looking forward to Paratalk coming back with Reeves Cook and more. So until the 24th, take care, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening, and we'll see you in a few weeks.
Take care, everyone.
All right, take care.